We got a great one here, Southeastern and Spring Garden, as we're about to get things underway here at Burgess Snow Field. Again, we saw Southeastern there in the first game really pick things up as the second half moved along, especially defensively stopping Central Coosa.
Yeah, they got 2 fumbles, and one of them they returned back for a scoop and score. And it'll be interesting to see how this defense really responds. They were physical last go around, very, very physical, and I think that's one of the things that this defense can really hang their hat on as Southeastern comes out here for game number 2.
Ben Ivy starts the game off as quarterback. Like we mentioned, he hands it off to Quentin Downey to pick up 15 yards there, get down to the 50-yard line for the Spring Garden Panthers here on the first drive.
Yeah, this is the very first play. One of the players to watch in the game was Quentin Downey. We'll see him on both sides of the football. He's a very tough runner. We talked about how a lot of the good running backs keep their feet moving and fall forward. The 2 running backs that Spring Garden really utilizes with both Lambert and Downey do just that, and they do it really well.
Ben Ivy hands off this time to Dakota Lambert. He'll pick up some yardage there, and all 3 of the guys that we've seen, they were our players to watch, so you know they're going to have a lot of touches on the ball today, Gerhard.
Yeah, they're go-to guys. They're guys that at any given season can give you 1,000 yards. Ben Ivy can give you 1,000 yards, whether it's through the air or on his feet. Same thing with Lambert, same thing with Downey, and it's a great, great punch right there because it gives you several options.
Ivy will take it himself this time. Close to the first down marker. We'll see if they'll give it to him, though, right around the 40-yard line.
Solid tackle there by Austin Lee, number 55, bringing up 3rd and short. And I think Southeastern, instead of trying to get a lot of points and big chunks of yards, they have to take baby steps. And I think one of the things that they can really start with is their defense. And this is a good situation right here against the running team, 3rd and short. Let's see what they can do here. They play a very loose defense right here, 3 men down.
Ivy takes it himself again, breaks free, breaks the tackle to the 10, and there he goes all the way. Touchdown, Spring Garden.
This was pretty easy for Spring Garden. The alignment really for Southeastern kind of gave them a lot of running room, and there was 3 down linemen, and just the alignment in and of itself kind of favored the Panthers there. And you give a good running team some yards, and you give them some room to run, and you give them a good quarterback that's been to the playoffs several times as Ben Ivy has, they will make you pay, and that's exactly what they did right there.
Quick touchdown there for Spring Garden. They'll kick the extra point here. Caitlin Rogers on the field to do so.
Saw Caitlin Rogers last year, one of the main cogs of this team, and you know, obviously she'll get a lot of the credit because she get a lot of the spotlight because she's a girl, but that puts no de-emphasis on what she can do as a kicker. She is one of the best ones.
Extra point was no good, 6-0. Here's your Tony Sarah Ford scoring drive. 4 plays, 65 yards, 1:33. Gerhard, they came out here quick, only ran 4 plays, and got their 6 points.
Southeastern gave up about this kind of drive. The first drive against Central Coosa in their first game, they ended up settling down after that. We'll see if there is also a transverse effect there from last game to this game. After that first drive, taking a punch, and then after that, settling down in their defense.
So it will be Southeastern taking over on offense. The Mustangs back here, and of course Seth Wadsworth is the quarterback for the Mustangs, the junior. Snap to Wadsworth. He'll take it himself. He'll get a couple yards, brought down.
Number 6,
Can't get across the line of scrimmage, though, here on the first series for the Mustangs.
So Wadsworth is a guy that they really trust. They trust his arm, but more so they trust his legs, and they like his legs to get himself out of the pocket and see what they can get along the outsides. And I think that this team will really rely on Seth Wadsworth moving forward, and we'll see if they go to Jordan Graham here. The way they're setting up their offense, they're getting Jordan Graham in a lot of one-on-one situations. I figure they'll go to him at some point through the year.
Snap to Wadsworth. He hands it off this time to number 34, Avery Jones. who is brought down. He'll gain about 3 yards on that play as we take a look at the replay here.
Quentin Downey coming up with a good play here. This is just an option play, and everybody on option defensively has an assignment. Right there, Downey plays his assignment just perfectly from his linebacker spot and comes up and makes a tackle. It's a good shot there of that young man. It's really Iron Man football with the stars of the Spring Garden football team. You'll keep hearing a lot of the same guys over again. Downey, Lambert, Ivy. Those three guys have made a lot of plays offensively as well as on this side of the ball.
Wadsworth goes to the air this time. Completes the path to Jacob Robertson. Brought down, though, at about the 39-yard line.
Tough tackling there. Really had nowhere to go, and give a lot of credit to number 42, Hunter McCord, coming from his defensive end spot. And Lambert really pins him up, and then great job there by big 42, Hunter McCord. Nice tackle there.
8:35 remaining here in this first half. Spring Garden with a 6-0 lead here.
Looks like the defense forces a punt, so we'll simulate the punt, move it up the field 35 yards, and Spring Garden will take back over on offense. Once again, Southeastern getting in a position there where they start off slow. They did it last game. They're doing it this game, so we'll see how that fares as they continue on with this game. But Southeastern's a program, once again, in their fourth year. A lot of these guys learning football for the very first time, so that cannot be overstated in a game like this when you have a playoff team with a lot of guys coming back against a team that's just learning the game. And so, fundamentally, this might look a little lopsided, but lots to grow on from Southeastern.
Dakota Lambert takes the handoff. He'll pick up the first down at the 40-yard line. Took them 4 plays to score last time. We'll see what they can do this time as you take a look at the replay there. Dakota Lambert, who we talked about in the open, already just a few minutes into this game, make a statement so far.
Look at that downfield blocking. Great block by number 10, Draven Bowman. We saw a lot of great outside blocking by Central Coosa in the first game, and that's one of the things that Spring Garden relies on when they do go outside is downfield blocking by the receivers.
Ben Ivy back to pass this time, puts it in the air, and it is intercepted by Cameron Robertson.
It's a pretty big interception there by Cameron Robinson. In our first game, Chase, we had a tip for an interception from Central Coosa by number 11, and this time we'll have a number 11 for a tip and an interception there by Cameron Robinson, a rising senior with a great play defensively for the Mustangs. And the Mustangs last time they created 3 turnovers in their overall. 2 in their last game, had 2 fumbles, returned 1 for a touchdown, there an interception. So what we talked about earlier, just building off that defense, and hopefully that can lead to some offense. And it's a good job there by big Cameron Robinson coming up with a nice play for that unit.
Mustangs take over to the 39-yard line. Snap to Wadsworth. He'll be looking to pass the ball. He'll put it up in the air. And that'll be a flag on the play there. Could see pass interference.
Listen, that one was easy. Just Joseph Rogers really is trying to get position on the football. He really didn't even have to do that, and he had put himself in a position to where he could make that play. But he understands where they're trying to go with the football. They're trying to go to Jordan Graham, number 20, the guy that we spotlighted earlier. But right there, he did it not only in front of the official, but in front of the Southeastern bench, who's standing right next to the officials that were right there in his ear. That was a pretty easy call, and the coaches will have a talk to him on the sideline. He's a smart corner, so he'll learn from this, but it's an obvious call there by the officials.
They'll move the ball up now to the 54-yard line for the Southeastern Mustangs. Snap to Wadsworth, pressure coming. He'll put the ball up. Pass incomplete to Albert Tenney.
He'll give a lot of credit here to number 60, Jacob Moloch. He comes from his defensive line position and really makes Seth Wadsworth roll out and throw with a little bit more pressure. He does get the ball off, and he throws it in a pretty good spot. Receiver unable to corral it in, but that was caused by the pressure by big number 60, Jacob Moloch.
7:29 remaining here in the first half. We'll play, of course, this 12-minute first half followed by a 5-minute second half. Wadsworth, the handoff to Jones. Gets out to about the 43. He's brought down.
Not a lot of running here on the Spring Garden defense, especially on the inside. There's a tough unit to run on just because they're so strong up front with their defensive tackles, and then they're so fast along the outside, and they can get to the corner. So Southeastern, I'm pretty sure, will have to find a different way to move the football consistently against a team like this. And once again, this is one of the better defensive units they will see from now until early November.
Wadsworth looking to pass this time. He'll get it out to Avery Jones, but right off the fingertips.
It's a well-designed play there, and that's a play that probably would have gone for a first down. He was wide open there in the flats. That's a play Southeastern, I'm sure, will rely on. They have to do a lot of the play action stuff. They have to do a lot of the stuff that gets the linebackers sucked in with the run fake and then throw the ball to the outside. And right there, Avery Jones, one of the guys we highlighted, one of the guys that will get a lot of run for this football team, just couldn't hang on to the football.
It'll be 4th down. The Mustangs will go for it here. Snap to Wadsworth, looking to pass, pressure coming though. Pass to Albert Tenney is complete, and they'll pick up the first down. Exactly what they wanted right there.
Yeah, this is pretty good play, just really all across the board. You had two receivers in about the same spot there with Tenney and Jordan Graham. But Wadsworth does a good job of getting this ball out there, pretty well defended. And number 10, Draven Bowman, puts his hands up in the air and just about gets it, but good concentration there by Tenney, able to come away with the catch. And so far, that's the biggest play for this Mustangs offense.
The Mustangs will keep their drive alive here as they get down to the 35-yard line. Pressure coming. Pass complete once again to Albert Tenney. He'll get down to the 16-yard line.
Once again, this offense feels comfortable with Wadsworth on the run. Here he runs to his left side and dodges one tackle and able to throw on the run. And there's not a lot of quarterbacks that can do that. That is an art that most quarterbacks, if you're giving them their choice, whether throw in the pocket, a clean pocket, or throw on the run, most of them will like to throw in a clean pocket. It looks like Wadsworth is actually a little more comfortable throwing on the run, and the receivers right now doing a pretty good job, and Tenney coming up with back-to-back catches.
Southeastern continues here on offense. This time Albert Tenney will take it from the pitch, but it gets nowhere. Runs straight into that Spring Garden defense there.
Yeah, we're seeing it once again, that little pitch play coming in motion. They're trying to get Tenney the ball in his hands because he's been doing some pretty good things so far with his offense. That time, no avail. Good job there by that Spring Garden defense. It's a good look there at that unit. One of the better ones in Class 1A, looking to build upon the success they had last year with the playoff win.
Snap to Wadsworth, looking to pass this time. Pressure coming. Throws it out there. I believe he was looking for Albert Tenney once again, but Tenney could not catch up to that pass there.
It's a good look there at Seth Wadsworth for the Southeastern football team, and there are very, very few seniors on this team, so a lot of the guys that make up what the Mustangs will put out on the field in 2016 will be playing their football for the first time in 2016, especially along that offensive front. Lots of young guys, and I think they've settled in on their quarterback with Seth Wadsworth here, trying to look for some weapons for him to go to.
Wadsworth sets back to pass. Pass up and complete. Touchdown, Southeastern Mustangs.
It's that same one-on-one matchup that we highlighted earlier. Jordan Graham, the furthest receiver to the right-hand side of the quarterback, Seth Wadsworth, and Wadsworth just puts it up there, and really not terrible position by Joseph Rogers at the beginning of the play, but as the play developed, he kind of fell out of position, and Jordan Graham does the rest and comes away with the touchdown. So we've seen an offensive touchdown from this group now and a defensive touchdown for this group. So we're seeing signs of them settling down, and this is a good sign here for this Mustangs offense.
They'll attempt the extra point. Albert Tenney will put it up. And the kick is good. Southeastern has taken the lead here 7-6 over the Spring Garden Panthers. And like we talked about, it took a little bit for Southeastern to settle in the last game. It looks to me like they're settling in this one.
Absolutely, and this is a perfect scoring drive if you're the Mustangs. Our Sarah Ford scoring drive, 7 plays, 61 yards, just shy of 3 minutes on the clock. So a good job by creating a turnover and then coming away with the interception. Here you're seeing the interception that started it all. A great play there by Cameron Robertson. Just a fantastic play coming off the tip. We talked about it earlier. The good teams will make you pay after a mistake, and that's exactly what you want. You get a fumble, you get an interception, you want to turn it into points. Picture perfect there by the Mustangs.
Spring Garden takes back over on offense. Hand off to Quentin Downey. He'll take off, get around the 50-yard line, pick up the first down while he's at it.
It's a good job there by Quentin Downey, and you can see a lot of the accolades he has just by his helmet. First down there for Spring Garden.
Ben Ivy back under center for the Spring Garden Panthers. He'll hand it off this time to Dakota Lambert. Lambert takes off to the 30. They'll bring him down around the 20-yard line. Big gain there for the Spring Garden Panthers.
That right there is a simple math. There were just too many Spring Garden Panther offensive players out there, and there are not enough defensive players. You see all the defensive players are to the right, and great downfield blocking there. Jordan Taylor comes up with a nice block. Joseph Rogers, number 24, comes up with a nice block, as well as number 10, Draven Bowman. Also downfield blocking there for Spring Garden, and they just got too many blockers out there, and that Mustangs defense couldn't catch up.
Downey takes the handoff this time. He'll take it in. Touchdown, Spring Garden. The handoff once again goes to Quentin Downey, and into the end zone he went.
Nothing fancy about this one. Looks a lot like the last play down there, and once again, just great downfield blocking. Couple missed tackles by the Mustang defense. And Downey takes it in for the score, but we talk about this prolific running game that Spring Garden brings to the table with both Downey and as well as Ben Ivy, their quarterback. Lambert, Dakota Lambert, we saw him on an earlier drive, and that one right there capped off by Quentin Downey.
The Panthers elect to go for 2 this time. Hand off to Dakota Lambert, and he will take it in. And a 2-point conversion is good. Spring Garden takes the lead back 14-7 here with 4:06 remaining in the first half.
It's a quick response there. They were fired up after giving up an interception early, and they cap it off there with the touchdown.
And here's your Tony Sarah Ford scoring drive. 3 plays, 65 yards, and they did so in 44 seconds.
That's impressive in no pads, much less in full pads. And just this is what the Spring Garden Panthers do. They like to run the football. They built this team on physicality and toughness and running the ball, being able to chew up a lot of clock. And right there, they didn't have to chew up a lot of clock. The last time they were on the field, they gave up the interception. They make up for it there with the touchdown.
Southeastern takes back over on offense. Seth Wadsworth in the backfield as quarterback. The handoff goes to Avery Jones, and he's brought down way back behind the line of scrimmage.
Devin Mobbs is the guy that really makes this play happen here for Spring Garden. He's the defensive back, and he comes up from his spot, and he really stretches his play out and makes the Mustangs go from east to west instead of north and south. Gets just enough help, and the rest of the Spring Garden defense is there to come up with the tackle. That's exactly what you want to do on those plays. If they're going to just keep running laterally, let them run laterally and use the out of bounds as an extra defender there. It's a good job by the Spring Garden defense, a loss of yards. So once again, the Mustangs starting behind the chains.
Snap to Wadsworth. He's looking to pass into the air. He goes intercepted, though, by Luke Welsh and Spring Garden. And he'll be out of bounds at about the 16-yard line, and the Panthers will take over.
Yeah, just watch number 1, Luke Welsh. He just comes from his middle linebacker spot, and he is spying the whole time. He just reads the quarterback's eyes, and this is an easy interception. Seth Wadsworth is going to learn that play right there is not worth the risk, and he was trying to throw it not necessarily across his body, but across the field, and doesn't even see Welsh sitting right there, and he's getting a well-deserved congratulations from his teammates. He sat right there in the pocket, read that play perfectly, read the quarterback's eyes. The receiver tried to cut behind him and comes up with the interception in positive field position. And taking a look there at Gunnersville, they'll take on Munford in our finale tonight.
Handoff went to Quentin Downey once again. He'll pick up some yardage for the Spring Garden Panthers. About under 3 minutes to go here in the first half.
So Spring Garden had an interception against them, turned into points. Now they have the opportunity to do the exact same thing after Welsh's interception, come away with points here off the turnover.
It'll be second down for the Panthers. Ben Ivy under center. Takes the snap, and he'll take it himself. Ivy across the 10 down to the 5. Can he get in? And they'll spot him down at the 1-yard line.
You know, at first the play looked really solid for Spring Garden because everybody for Southeastern kind of went with the run fake. But then watch there in the very bottom of your screen, number 11 comes up and has a really, really strong adjustment. Cameron Robertson, we saw him on the interception early. He comes back and stays at home. He's able to slow him up just enough, and Dylan Thomas is the guy that comes up with the interception. But great job there by Ben Ivy falling forward and putting himself inside the 2-yard line.
On the 1-yard line, Spring Garden's Ben Ivy walks straight into the end zone. Give him 6 to add to their lead.
This one was pretty easy right here. Then just not enough people on the football, but not enough people on the line of scrimmage there for the Southeastern defense. And like I said earlier, you can't give a running team, a good running team at that, yards to work with. And when you only have one, that's an easy punch in for the QB.
Spring Garden will attempt the extra point here. To do so, Caitlin Rogers back out on the field.
Rogers made headlines last year. She was one of the first to score. She scored a lot of extra points, obviously, but also capped off with a 2-point conversion last year. And so she is a dual threat there in the special teams.
21-7 now. Spring Garden on top of Southeastern with about 2 minutes and 7 seconds left here in the first half. We'll play another 2-minute half or 5-minute half for the second half. Here you see your Tony Sarah Ford scoring drive. 3 plays, 16 yards, and 1:04 thanks to that interception by Luke Welsh.
Yep, Luke Welsh started it just like Cameron Robertson on the other side, and then the offense came back and finished the job with the points on the other end. So we're seeing a lot of great defense turn into great offense for both these clubs, and we'll see what Southeastern brings back to the table here after that interception, and we'll see if Seth Wadsworth has learned about throwing across the middle. You know, they've had some success throwing to the outside, so we'll see if they go back to that.
Wadsworth finds his receiver, Jordan Graham. Graham takes off. They'll bring him down, though. He'll gain about 3 yards on that play.
It's a nice throw to get it out there. Spring Garden, one of the things they'll definitely work on is shoring up some of their tackles, but Jordan Graham doing a pretty good job of really fighting for every inch over there. Brings about 2nd and 5 for his club.
Southeastern looking to break into this 21-7 game here. Wadsworth has done a great job this game here we've had of finding Jordan Graham, and Jordan Graham's done a great job of bringing the ball in. Bounced off his hand several times there in that first game. Wadsworth this time goes to Tenney. Off his hands, goes out of bounds.
It's a nice looking route there by Tenney, and that's one of the things that you'll learn these players will learn during the 7-on-7 camps coming up in July. They'll learn that timing on some of those out routes. Wadsworth, his job is to put it in a position where only his receiver can get it or nobody will get it. And right there, nobody did get it. But he and Albert Tenney will get on that same page, and we'll see what they do as they move forward. But Tenney and Jordan Graham look like to be the main two guys for this Mustang offense.
Snap to Wadsworth was low, but he'll get it off to Albert Tenney down to about the 50-yard line, and he'll be pushed out of bounds.
Not too bad there. Offensively, it looks like a similar play to their last play. Tenney comes up with the catch that time, and they like those out routes that go to the sideline, especially on 2nd and short, 3rd and short. Just go to the sticks, try to get the first down and get out of bounds.
Under a minute to go here in the first half. Wadsworth now looking to pass, pressure coming. The pass is complete there. Nice catch there by Connor Barton for Southeastern.
Finds the hole there in that defense. There were 4 Spring Garden players all about in the same spot. And there was a small hole where his receiver, Connor Burton, able to sneak out of there and come up with the catch. So a good pitch and catch there by Seth Wadsworth.
From the 42-yard line, Wadsworth takes the snap, and a lot of Spring Garden Panthers coming at it. He'll go opposite field. He's all by himself down to the 30-yard line, and he's pushed out of bounds about the 26-yard line.
One of the things we said is, would Wadsworth learn his lesson and not throw passes into dangerous positions? That was a perfect example of he did learn that lesson. Rolls out to his left, lots of Spring Garden players there, cuts back to his right and uses his legs and picks up the first down. Spring Garden defense will talk about this. And during the break here, a 2-minute break, and great job there by Seth Wadsworth.
Spring Garden up 21-7 as we end half number 1. We'll be back here on the TV24 Gridiron Challenge with half number 2 in just a minute.
It's time you got a car as reliable as you are. And America's First has made that more possible than you might think.
When it comes to great tasting barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Dad's Barbecue is slow hickory cooked to perfection, and Dad's menu includes a wide selection of popular items such as our smoked chicken sandwich, ribs, salads, and the best chicken fingers in town. And Dad's does catering, so let Dad's take care of your next party, family reunion, church function, or any type of get-together. Family owned since 1985. Dad's Barbecue, with locations in Anniston and Rainbow City.
TV24's 2016 Gridiron Challenge is being brought to you by Oxford Secure Storage and Dorsey Supermarket.
Back here at the TV24 Gridiron Challenge, Spring Garden has the lead 21-7 over Southeastern Mustangs here. As we continue along the Gridiron Challenge, we got a 5-minute half here to finish up with these teams, and then we'll see Mumford take on Gunnersville in the nightcap tonight. That's expected to be an exciting game. Alongside Gerhard Mathangani, I'm Chase Robinson as we welcome you back here, getting set for half number 2. And Gerhard, as we saw in the first half, Spring Garden's run game just too much for Southeastern, but some bright spots for Southeastern.
Yeah, there were, and they got an interception early on. And the thing about this team, the Southeastern team, is not effort. I mean, they're giving full-out effort. A lot of it's going to be just alignment and assignment, being able to take care of business defensively.
Seth Wadsworth with the ball for Southeastern. He dumps it over to Avery Jones, who with the spin move and down to the 41-yard line.
It's a pretty impressive move there. Just nice little spin move on the outside, gave himself a little bit of space here.
Play gain, 6 yards, second down, 4, Southeastern.
It's a very nice
6-yard
play.
gain for Southeastern.
Very nice play there for the Mustangs, and you can tell what the Mustangs offense really is. It's an offense that likes to run the football, but I think they've got to a point where they understand running the football against the Spring Garden defense will be tough. So they like to create their short yardage offense through their passing game, little short passes to the flats and to the outside.
Wadsworth looking to go back to the air. He gets it back to Jones. Jones runs right in, though, to the Spring Garden defenders and is brought down quickly and gains 1 yard.
Spring Garden obviously adjusting to what Southeastern is trying to do there by throwing the ball in the flats, and it's a lot of good linebacker play, good defensive end play along the outside, making sure that you don't get burned, and also making tackles, and I think that's very, very key in some of these kind of games where you have teams that like to go spread 4 and 5 wide receivers. This time they have 4 wide receivers alongside with Wadsworth, being sure to stay fundamental with their defense.
Back to Wadsworth, back to the air. He finds Connor Barton, who's brought down about the 43-yard line.
If you remember, this is the same play where Wadsworth was intercepted earlier. This time he made sure that there wasn't a linebacker sneaking up in the middle. He does a good job of getting it to his receiver on the crossing route there. Brings up 4th and short. And it looks like Southeastern here will go for it. This is a very, very heads-up play there by Coach Burkett. He understands that their offense has done some good things in short yardage situations. And here he feels pretty confident in his guys to go for it here on 4th down.
4th and 3 for the Southeastern Mustangs. Wadsworth. It will be Jones taking the snap. The pass goes to Seth Wadsworth. He goes down the field down to about the 15-yard line, and they'll take him out of bounds.
Give it up for the trickeration from Coach Burkett. 4th down, and they have not their quarterback, but their wide receiver, Cameron Robertson, coming up with the pass back to the quarterback. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty impressive play calling there. I'm sure that's a regular season game might hesitate just a little bit to make that call there, but it works here in the spring game. Here's another look at it. Looks like a reverse. And then Robertson, the wide receiver, comes up with the play, and Wadsworth all he does is sneak behind the defense, gets behind him, and comes up with the big play.
The Mustangs now from the 15. Wadsworth goes back to the air to Graham. Graham off his hands and goes out. That'll be an incomplete pass.
Give a lot of credit there to Jonah Smith. He's a guy playing defense on Graham, and really with a lot of what they're doing with Graham is they're not even giving him safety help. It's just kind of one-on-one down there, and that's a lot of tangle for the ball. I like the no call there by the officials. People can say that it looks like Jonah went on top of him. It looks to me that Hill had pretty solid position there. So Jonah Smith, I should say. Pretty solid position there on one of the better receivers for Southeastern.
2nd down, pass goes to Barton, and Barton marches right into the end zone for the Southeastern Mustangs for 6 more points.
We talked about how Southeastern, if they could settle into the football game, they gave up a long, long drive there on the first drive of the game, did it in game 1 and then again in game 2. But both times they settled into the game, and here their settling into the game is resulting in points on the scoreboard. Right now, 2 touchdowns against a very good defense. You give a lot of credit there on that play to Jacob Robertson. He came up with a fantastic block along the outside, able to spring him free for their 2nd touchdown of the game.
Harmon Barton is on for Southeastern for the extra point. Kick is up, and he knocks that one down. 21-14. Spring Garden still on top, but Southeastern trying to put themselves back in it. As we take a look at their series here.
Yeah, just a lot of really, really strong plays here for Southeastern. They did it in a variety of different ways. They did it with a trick play. They did it with a simple crossing pattern, throwing the ball out in the flats, and then they come away with the touchdown here on the nice out route to Connor Barton. So on that scoring drive, it looks pretty solid for the Mustangs.
That's right, your Tony Seraford scoring drive, 6 plays, 65 yards in 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Thanks to that fourth down conversion there.
Yeah, that's the play that really kind of set things in motion, and you never know what plays like that can do, especially in the fall when your guys understand that the coaches have the confidence in the players to make the plays. That is a very risky place. Let's just say we're talking in September. That's a very risky place to go for it on fourth down. But here in the spring game, it's a good opportunity, a good chance to show that, hey, guys, we believe in you. We got your back, and we're not going to punt it here. We're going to give you a chance to make the play. They come up with a trick play, and they do make it. So just before we come out here for Spring Garden's next drive, we have a timeout on the field. They'll talk it over and reset here. And the Spring Garden offense, I mean, they've been phenomenal really all year long, and they've been really, really solid in this game. I think one of the things that Coach Howard will talk about with his guys coming out of this will be that Spring Garden defense, and give a lot of credit to Southeastern. They've really come with a lot of fight here, especially in the later stages of this one.
2:19 left in this one. As you see, the stands filling up, getting ready for that next game. The handoff to Dakota Lambert. He'll take off down to the 30. Nobody in his way. Touchdown, Spring Garden, and Dakota Lambert.
Whatever they talked over there in the timeout, it worked. It's just a simple handoff play, and Southeastern once again just out of position. And Dakota Lambert is capable of doing this on any defense in any given play of the game. He has been one of their feature backs for a very, very long time. And Dakota Lambert, you see all the stickers that he has on his helmet. Coach Jason Howard with some congratulations, some words of wisdom there. It's a great shot there of coach and running back after a great play. A big smile there from Dakota Lambert after a nice touchdown.
Caitlin Rogers back on the field to attempt the extra point. The kick is up and is good. 28-14, Spring Garden on top of Southeastern. A real quick drive there for the Spring Garden Panthers. So we take a look once again at that touchdown from Dakota Lambert.
Outside of that one hand that got him early that you just saw here in the replay, he virtually went untouched. And that's a lot of credit to a very, very good running back. And what you'll see out of Southeastern is a work on tackling. And this drive, pretty short.
One play, 65 yards, 14 seconds. It took Dakota Lambert to take off 65 yards to score the touchdown to go up 28-14 with 2:05 here left in this game. Southeastern takes back over on the offensive side of the ball. Seth Wadsworth back in at quarterback. He'll take the snap and hand it off. A few yards will be picked up there by Southeastern. And Avery Jones called his name several times throughout the afternoon.
One of our players to watch at the beginning of the game. He's a good running back for this club. He also plays linebacker for Coach Burkett. Some substitutions here for Spring Garden's defense late. Looks like they're putting in like a extra defensive back in there.
Snap to Wadsworth. He'll hand it off to Jones. Jones takes off. Crosses the 50 down to the 40. And he'll be knocked out of bounds about the 30-yard line.
Well executed play here. Some good blocking downfield and just great vision. You saw that Jones just kept his head up. We saw him drop a pass in the flats earlier. He certainly makes up for it right here with a tremendous run along the outside. And you're seeing how fast he is. He's deceptively fast for this Mustang offense. Great play there by Jones. A great shot of that young man. He'll be called upon. He and Jordan Graham, and we've seen Albert Tinney make a lot of plays for this team as well as Connor Barton. So some pieces starting to fold together, some mold together for this Mustangs offense.
Cameron Robertson took the snap, and he'll be knocked out of bounds about the 27-yard line.
The last time that Connor had the football, that resulted in a first down on the trickeration This one well defended by Spring Garden. Doing a good job there of just stringing them along the outside is Devin Mobbs. Then they're able to come down and make sure they finish up that tackle. Elijah Petty, number 81, coming.
38 seconds left in this one. Robertson will be taking the snap once again for the Mustangs. He'll hand off, or fake the handoff to Avery Jones. He'll go back to pass. Pass incomplete, intended for Connor Barton, but will fall to the ground.
Another look at this right here. Just a play action to one side and trying to find something open on the other. And coaches will talk to him about that. In some situations like that, you're better off throwing it away instead of risking another interception. Luke Walsh already has one. He's defended well on that play.
Robertson again back in the backfield as quarterback. He'll be going to the air again. He'll fire it up. Falls incomplete. Lands it between two receivers. With 17 seconds remaining. That'll bring up a 4th down for the Mustangs.
Last time they were in a 4th down situation, had a little trickeration there. See if Coach Burkett goes back to it or maybe something else up his sleeve. And that's another thing about seeing trick plays in spring. You typically don't see that because teams don't want that stuff on film in the spring. But Coach Burkett calling that play early on, and it really fueled a very good drive for Southeastern. They're able to score a touchdown. So with 17 ticks to go in this one, we see what they do on 4th down here.
Robertson passes over to Jones, off his hand and falls incomplete. So that will be turnover on downs. It'll be Spring Garden football with 11 seconds remaining in this game. The Panthers up 28-14.
The Panthers walk away with at least a 2-touchdown win today over Southeastern. But I'll tell you what, Chase, I feel like Southeastern had a very, very good second game. After that first game against Central Coosa, they lost 30-7. This game right here has been solid for the Mustangs, and lots of good stuff to build on for Coach Burkett and this Mustang football team as they move forward into the rest of the summer and then going into fall camp. Lots to build on, and we're seeing this out of young teams. We see this out of young teams all the time where they just get more comfortable and then finally something clicks, and maybe this will be the year where it clicks and they are able to get a few more wins as Spring Garden goes to the victory formation.
And the Panthers will take the knee there, wind down the clock. And that will do it for this one. 28-14, Spring Garden Panthers defeat Southeastern here and had a little round robin between Southeastern, Spring Garden, and Central Coosa High School. And coming up next, we'll have Mumford and Gunnersville coming up in just a little bit. And John Holder's down there. He'll be catching up with Spring Garden head coach Jason Howard here in just a few minutes. But overall, Gerhard, pretty good game between these two teams.
Yeah, and there's lots of good to take away from really all three of these clubs who participated in this first 3 games, and we'll talk about that on the other side of this interview. We'll go down to the field to John Holder with head coach Jason Howard. John?
Right, we're down here with Coach Howard from Spring Garden. Evident, obviously, that you've got some very experienced, skilled people. We saw that today. And just tell us about your team. Offensively, very impressive here, especially to be a spring game.
I felt like we did okay. We got, like I said, we got a lot of experience coming back in the backfield at skilled players. Still got to develop some linemen, but if we have a good summer, I think we'll come around in the line.
This is a team that going to the playoffs last year, you were literally a play away from being in the quarterfinals of 1A. So it would appear this is a hungry football team to try to take a next step or two. 2016 season, how do you see that happening?
Cedar Bluff's going to be real good in the region again. I think we got a couple other teams in the region that's going to be better. Woodville, Galesville really come to mind. I think that we've got to improve. If we take care of ourselves, then I think we can be in the thick of it again.
What about coming here to Jackson State? Last year, you were telling me earlier last week, you said we didn't kick off till like 10 o'clock at night in the thunderstorm and all that. Now to come out here and play in better weather and in this atmosphere, what's that mean to you and your football team?
Hey, y'all do a great job with this. Great facilities here. Good teams playing, a lot of sportsmanship shown here. We really like it. I fear that our county jamboree is going to get moved to the spring, and we're not going to be able to participate in it anymore. But I really hope we keep it in the fall and we can keep coming back, because great job putting it on, and the facilities here are outstanding.
Coach, best of luck this season. Good job tonight.
Thank you.
Jason Howard of the Spring Garden Panthers tonight. Now we're getting ready. Both teams on the field. Munford and Gunnersville coming up next.
Thank you, John. And Gerhard, like we were talking before we went down, really impressive game here, especially from Spring Garden.
Yeah, and you heard Coach Jason Howard when he was talking with John, and I'm sure he's saying the same thing to Coach Burkett earlier, that his guys played a team that was hungry, and their team is hungry. They were a play away from making the third round of the playoffs last year, and this is a team with a lot of seniors, with Dakota Lambert and Quentin Downey, as well as Ben Ivey. These are guys that are hungry for a berth in the semifinals. He mentioned Cedar Bluff. Cedar Bluff ended up going to the state championship game to play in Tuscaloosa last year. That's what Spring Garden sees themselves possibly on the next level. So really, really good start here in the spring for Coach Jason Howard's bunch.
Well, that'll do it for this one. Spring Garden get the 28-14 win over Southeastern. When we come back, we got the nightcap, the Munford Lions taking on the Gunnersville Wildcats, coming up next on the TV 24 Gridiron Challenge.